All right. I got to get this posted. Ha.
Yeah, we do it
um,
live, folks.
if you are actually watching right now, thank you. And please give us a second because this is how I always do it, apparently. It's just wild. But we are very excited to see all of you and talk to all of you and give our big announcement. And we get to announce some winners for our big drawing, which is was exciting. Many
Indeed,
of you,
indeed.
yes, many of you have seen Ken within the group, Facebook group, the Nerd Haven. Ken, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and then talk to us about Nerd Initiative?
Thank you so much for having me on, Megan. In case anybody doesn't know, my name is Ken M. I am the host of the ODPH podcast, where we talk a parlay of topics each and every week on our podcast platform. But you might know me better as the editor-in-chief of nerdinitiative.com, the home of pop culture positivity, a media outlet that covers fandoms like nobody else. So if you're a fan of movies, TV, comics, wrestling, you name it, we cover it, but we cover it in a positive manner. And that's the one thing that we really preach about. We don't want to go in there and do things for clicks per se. We like to have those positive conversations because we, at the end of the day, are fans like you, and we like to have the fandoms really be what they are, and they should be enjoyable and welcoming to everybody, no matter what kind of fan you are.
That it's we're in such short supply of that recently, which is crazy, but it's nice to find another place that is, lack of a better term, of safe space for people who really are fans of anything because Nerd Initiative has comics, movies, TV, there's books, there's wrestling, there's sports, there's really everything.
Yeah, it's been something that we've really grown in the past year and really made it more accessible as a media outlet. I think that that's been a big transition that we've really honed in on, and the success has been right there, based off everybody that's been tuning in, everybody that's been reacting to the reviews online, and just really growing that into such a wonderful experience. And especially like this day and age, the more positivity we can have, the better, and we really have been excelling that. And we got so much lined up for 2025. I wish I could talk about it, but the GEO has given me like a strict guideline. If I can say this, I can't say that. So if I have to do the no comment, bear with me. But trust me, you'll love what we have coming up.
If you guys are curious who the GEO is, he joined us last night for when Nerd Initiative talked all things Marvel. It was Michael. He's amazing, as is everyone else that works at Nerd Initiative. Yeah, that works at Nerd Initiative. They're some of the kindest people I've ever met, which is crazy to find so many kind people who are willing to work with you, who want to help you, who want to be friends with you in all these super toxic fandoms. It's like the diamonds in the rough all in one group.
Yeah, it's been something that since I've been a part of it now, going on 3 years, maybe two.
Lord.
I'll have to double check about that. I think I officially joined in late 2022, but I kind of forget because time flies when you're having fun. But it's been one to see the evolution to go through, and like you touched upon, it's very hard to find the same kind of like-minded, positive fans to really interact with, because you can go on other platforms and you just want to celebrate that you're a fan of Marvel, and then all of a sudden you have people complaining about DC, and it's like, why? I'm sitting here just bragging about like I like Marvel movies, and then it's that back and forth, and you can go through the various fandoms, but to see it all under one roof at Nerd Initiative has been really a blessing. And I think that's been really spreading a word, because we've been growing our follower accounts on all social media. But more importantly, the interactions have been growing. And that's where we really thrive at, because we can kind of shoot it out to the world and say our piece, but to have fans interacting with us, fellow fans, that's the key point. Like that makes everything go around.
I totally agree. I've met so many amazing people just by doing reviews at Nerd Initiative. And I've met like everything has grown in talks of having a community, having people who are like minded, who also just want to talk about comics or want to talk about movies. And I've even met some of the comic creators, which I never thought would happen. And it's been really, really mind blowing.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen out there. I mean, we have such an amazing team that's working to produce the content, and you're seeing now a lot of us are interacting with them in real life. Like I know Matt and Lauren from Hops Geeks
Yeah.
News, some of our editors from Nerd Initiative are actually at MegaCon Orlando this week, and the pictures they've been showing, I mean, that just proves about how much the creators are checking out what we're doing, and they're always so appreciative of the fans being involved. And to have that kind of synergy, like we say, I'll probably sound like a broken record throughout the night, but to make that synergy happen and really grow it into something positive, you can't beat it, and you can't find it anywhere else other than Nerd Initiative.
You really can't. And that's says a lot coming from me because, my Facebook group, the Nerd Haven on Facebook, where a lot of you are watching this from, I've always said that is the best place for a non-toxic nerd culture, for a place that will accept you for who you are, what you're into, and will learn with you. And then you find Nerd Initiative, and it's like we kind of clicked from the beginning because our values are very much the same as far as toxicity goes and inclusion and all of that. So I guess that does bring us to our big announcement. So a lot of changes have happened with the Nerd Haven in the past year. So many changes, some good, some bad that turned out to be good. It's just a bunch of drama. It happens. But I think one of the best things that's happened is that we've made so many friends, including Nerd Initiative. So you guys know that there is a giveaway tonight, and I'm really excited to announce who won. But before that, I'll say that this giveaway will become a monthly thing thanks to Nerd Initiative, who is now our official sponsor of Nerd Haven. So it is the Nerd Haven powered by Nerd Initiative, which is incredible.
Yeah, this is something that we've really been searching for with the community, and to have the right people in the community. Like we say, we want the positivity. We don't want the toxicity. And it's been something that we used to have at Nerd Initiative, like a smaller Discord group, but we really wanted to make it more wide open and get more people involved. And that is where you come in, Nerd Haven members. And whoever is watching this, we want you to join this because we want to build this community. And it's something that we strive for at Nerd Initiative, that we want to excel with, because we want to go in, like every time a movie review drops, we want to have your interaction and talk it up. Anytime a comic is coming out that's making some noise, we want to talk it up. We want to find the fandoms, but we want to build that community, because the community is really what is the true power of Nerd Initiative. And to happen to just luck into it with the Nerd Haven and seeing what Megan and the team has been doing there since day one. I mean, honestly, I think it's the best Facebook group. Heck, I think it's the best fan group going today, because you come in and it doesn't matter your level of fandom. You can come in, you're welcome, you're asked to participate, you're asked to be involved, and to have that consistency about that, it truly makes it a special moment to come in. And especially if you're new to a fandom, you don't know anything about it, you're not going to get picked on for not knowing about it. You're going to have people that want to encourage you. Hey, have you watched this? Have you read this? And build that off. And then you look where it grows from there. So to make this deal happen, we are excited at Nerd Initiative, and trust us, we have some things coming up that are going to be exclusive to the Nerd Haven community. And that's where we're going to be even making a bigger push to get everybody involved on Facebook with this group and Nerd Initiative. Because like we say, there's a lot of things I can tease that we have for giveaways coming up, but I don't want to lay the whole deck out just yet.
Yeah, and for anyone who is interested or wondering, this doesn't mean there's going to be huge changes coming to the group. Nothing like that. No rules are changing. Our values are very much still the same. All it really means is that you guys have a chance to win some cool stuff every month, and you get to see even more incredible content, like comics-wise, movie-wise, all of that. And there's really no downside to it. It's just adding to the group. And honestly, ever since I've joined the Nerd Initiative, I've learned so much more than I knew before. I've learned about movies, TV shows, DC. I've learned so much about the comic world. There's nothing bad about it. Nothing big will change. It's not like what you've seen in other places. It's honestly, I know Nerd Initiative. I've known these guys for about a year now, and there's absolutely no red flags, which you can't. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, the easiest way we could describe it is we're going to be the absentee landlords, more or less, because this is not broken. This doesn't need us to be involved in. In fact, when we were looking about refocusing on building a community up, it was a no-brainer amongst our executive board about, like, why not get with the Nerd Haven and really bolster the community aspect of our group? Because we live on those 3 C's: consistency, content, and community. And that is one thing that we really want to make sure in 2025. We want to be the place that fans want to come to, But with this group, there's like I can't reiterate enough. We don't want to change a thing. We just want to make it more involved with you and more to the members to really build this community up into something special and just elevate what is already done now. Like I say, there's no need for fixing if it's not broken. And honestly, what we have lined up is just the tip of the iceberg because we haven't even scratched the surface what we're doing.
I agree. It's just growing. It's forming new friendships. It's getting people to know each other even better than they already do. Because if you're in the Nerd Haven, you've seen some of my comic reviews, you've seen some of the content from the people within the Nerd Haven, and you guys know how strict we are on self promotion because we only allow self promotion from people who have the same values as us. We don't want to push someone out there and put their content out there if they're damaging what we are trying to build. And Nerd Initiative is exactly what we want as far as content wise.
Absolutely. That's a big thing that, we want people to celebrate the fandoms and really be open-minded to learning about new things. And that's one thing that we're going to be very much striving for, but I can't stress enough. We're going to be very hands-off of what Megan and the team are doing with the Nerd Haven. So we are not going to change a thing, but we just want everybody to just celebrate the fandoms. And like I say, build this into a true powerhouse community more than it already is.
Agreed. And Blake Hickman, yes, you are still welcome to post your episodes weekly. I love Fundamentals. I will never not let you guys post.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, Fundamentals, Nerd Initiative, they are some of the content creators that do need more eyes because they are making such a positive change in these fandoms. And that's what I think our group is really made for, is to have a safe space and hopefully do make a big change in the fandoms because it's scary out there. There's gatekeepers, there's people who look down on you for your opinion. Like I'm a Snyder fan. I know what that's like. It's a terrifying world out there. But in the Nerd Haven, I don't get trashed for liking that. So that's a small example of what we really want to see come out of all of this.
Absolutely. Like I say, it doesn't matter if you're pro Snyder or anti Snyder. We can have those positive conversations. I'm with you. I don't mind it as much as other people do. I know my co-host is from the ODPH is not a Snyderverse fan, but you know what? He doesn't bash anybody unless it's brought upon him per se. But that's the one thing that we don't have to worry about here is this community has been very open, and we've had members of Nerd Initiative in this community for quite some time, and seeing how things go down. And honestly, even when there's been question marks, I guess I should say, they've always been handled positively and productively. And that's something that you don't find in a lot of groups. A lot of times you'll walk into certain places and it's met with a very negative atmosphere for reasons. Yeah. And this is one spot that we don't really worry about that too much, nor should we. Like I say, it's very much regulated with the positivity factors and like I say, the synergy values that we do. So it's a no-brainer to make this happen. And like I say, we are welcome to talk Snyderverse. We're welcome to talk Marvel, DC, the indies. Like I say, we're going to be really sparking some conversations because we want to build that community up. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah. Plus, who doesn't love more great content? Like, I love reviews. I love seeing what people have to bring or have to say. And it's crazy because me and Matt, who also is in Nerd Initiative and Hops Geeks News, actually met within the group. And that's how me and him got situated. And then it turned into last year doing my first panel with Kyle Higgins and Matt. Like, it's so crazy how much changes and how many positive things come out. It's just good all around. And the team, the Nerd Haven team, is 100% behind all of this. They are so down. They love Nerd Initiative as well. And none of us have any doubts in our minds that this will go very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we're excited to get on board and really build the community aspect up and just elevate what's already been done here. I mean, like we say, there's nothing that we need to step in and fix per se. It's like when we're looking for a community and we really want to make that a goal of 2025 to get back to that community aspect. The Nerd Haven was the only name on our list that we wanted to really build here and to see what they've been doing. And like I say, it's always a fun time popping in the chat and seeing what everybody's doing. And we just want to make sure we're just growing that with you and taking it as far as we can go.
Absolutely. So I guess no, Jerry Root, you did not miss it. I will get to that. So I asked everyone online in the Facebook group, not that many saw it because I'm shadow banned, but
Hmm.
whatever. That's what happens when you comment on too many things at once.
This is true.
It's so great. But I asked everyone to make a picture that stopped Thanos from getting the gauntlet, and you guys made up the wildest stuff. And I to make it completely biased because some of you did make things I was like that has to win. I said the most reactions to their comment wins, and I have two winners here that I'm still giggling about. Their stuff was so good. So the first one is Daniel Coder. I am so excited for you. Yours, we laughed about it. I think I've laughed about it for 24 hours now. And the next one is the beautiful Madison Killian. And I will get in touch with both of you. So keep a lookout in your message requests because I will be right there.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Our first giveaway. And I love a giveaway, man. It is so exciting.
Yeah, me too, and especially what we have lined up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could show one early if you want to see it.
You really could. I feel like that it's almost rude of you not to be
All
honest
right,
with
so I have to walk off camera for a
you.
second.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
give me a sec here.
Hi, Gibson. Hello.
So, what we're going to be doing is chat, super chat, wherever you're watching us from. I just want to know, is there any Radiant Black fans in the house? Anybody that's into the Massiverse from Image Comics and Black Market Narrative?
That's me.
Well, I think everybody has a date circled on their calendar for late in February because Radiant Black 31 is returning the series back to the shelves and obviously coming out of the Catalyst War. And I mean, we are going to be having one Kyle Higgins on turn a page coming up at the end of the month.
I love Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited to talk to him. But I don't know if anybody's been playing this per se.
Ooh. Well, that's cool.
So this is the Massiverse fighting card game by Solus Game Studios and Pocket Paragons. So we are going to be giving away this, plus there is a trade paperback called Across the Massiverse, and it is the issues 1 of Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, The Dead Lucky, and Inferno Girl Red all put together. It's a great introduction to the Massiverse, which I think is one of the comics' most exciting universes right now. So we will be doing that here on the Nerd Haven community channel. So if you want to enter, we'll stay tuned for that. But we do have one giveaway we're going to be doing first because I think that's more important. And Meg and I have been discussing first, but keep your eyes out for that very, very shortly for the Massiverse. And definitely want to see everybody's reactions for that. But I think we're going to be doing something else first. Wouldn't you say, Megan?
I do think so. And when Daniel and Madison do receive their gifts, I hope they will post a picture of it because I actually want the stuff too, to be honest with you. A lot of the stuff that is up for the giveaways, I'm just like, I just give it to me. I mean,
I know. It's a tough thing from like the little stuff we have lined up right now, and then there's a few things I haven't even got a chance to tell you about yet.
yeah. So, like I said, that'll be a monthly giveaway, which is super exciting. You don't have to do anything except every once a month, I will say, this is how you enter to draw. It might be a gift war. It might be tell me the funniest thing or name your favorite superhero. That is it. You have to do nothing else. But what you should do is go follow Nerd Initiative on Facebook because you get to see all that content and they're also in the Nerd Haven. So it's not like you don't know them. And I can vouch for them. Their content is great and it follows all of the non-toxic vibes we're all trying to get.
Absolutely. So if you want to be part of this, that's the easiest way to do it is follow us on Facebook and YouTube too. Because like I said, we have exclusive content coming there, especially this really cool interview series called Variant Editions.
It's true. It's very true. I
Yes.
can attest to that because me and my best friend Jason Lowe were talking on it.
Yes.
I love I love all the different things you get to do at Nerd Initiative. Like, I never thought I would be talking one-on-one with Jason Lowe about the Dazzler series he wrote and stuff he's doing. I never thought I would just get to talk to him about what he thinks of Taylor Swift being cast as the Dazzler. Like, that is wild to me.
Yes. No, Jason's amazing. I've been a big fan of his stuff. He has a fantastic series out on it's Dark Horse Comics. Him and Chip Zdarsky did the All Nighter, which you could definitely check out on Comixology Originals, but it's in print form in Dark Horse now. And Jason's also tearing it up on Werewolf by Night by Marvel too. He's great though.
Yeah, and he also is continuing the Dazzler with Concert of Champions coming out soon, which will have Spider-Gwen, which will have Luna Snow. Like, there's so many big things happening, and the funny thing about all of those big things happening is that we actually break the news first. As you guys will see, that there will be breaking news posts, there will be articles written for reviews, there will be all these amazing things, and I gotta say, not one of them is bad.
Yeah. Definitely not. It's the one great thing. We have such an amazing team in Nerd Initiative that wants to bring you that content. I see Kat's in the chat too, and Kat crushes it with every article she does. And you're going to start seeing more of us pop up here, and we want to interact with you. It's that's the big thing, because you're going to have some exclusive stuff coming your way that, like I say, the Nerd Haven will hear first, and then we go from there. And like I say, that's going to be a fantastic time to make happen.
Yeah, and that's really it. Like, it's a community. That's what the Nerd Haven has always been. It's been about community, your safe space where you feel most comfortable to like what you like or dislike what you dislike. And Nerd Initiative has done nothing but continue that with what they do too.
Yeah. So like I say, we're just looking to grow that even further in 2025 and beyond. And we really want you to be a part of that conversation. We want you to be interacting. We want to really build this to be the home of pop culture positivity on Facebook and online, but more importantly, in this community.
Absolutely. And I see a lot of people are showing up a little late in the chat. Who's he? This is Ken.
Hi.
He's from Nerd Initiative. If you're showing up late, your best bet is to rewind and you'll hear everything. You'll hear who won. You'll hear the big announcement, and you'll know that this will happen every month. So if you missed out on this one, there's always next month. If you lost this one, there's always next month. It's always exciting, but we appreciate all of you for being here. I know it's a Saturday night and there's things going on. Like, I'm going to go watch UFC pretty soon, so I get it. Things are happening.
Duplicitous.
That's what I'm saying. I'm so sick of Sean Strickland.
Yeah, I think this is going to end in the 4th round. Just reasons. Like, we'll just put it out there. But the fight that I'm even looking forward to, super chat, are you UFC fans? Like, let's talk about it. I know about the Sports Haven, so we can definitely talk about that.
Yes, someone please. It's lonely in these streets.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Suarez, what can we say about that? Zealy, like, that's going to be a crazy fight going down. I think Suarez is going to absolutely just destroy her in the cage tonight. I'm hoping like it's going to be a great fight, because I do like Willie, but I'm telling you what, Suarez is no joke.
But I always go for Weili. I always do for years now. My girl can do no wrong. I know Rose got her like 2 times, but like Rose fell off. So I guess you F around and find out. But Weili is that is my girl. Like, I have full faith in her. I just watched a video of her picking up Shaq today. Like, girl just gets it done every time. And she's amazing. Yeah,
it's going to be a fantastic night of fights in the UFC. So definitely we'll be chatting about it on the Sports Haven channel as well. Because, I mean, we do have NI News that pops in, albeit though, there's a game going on this weekend that we're probably not going to be discussing because of the egregiousness that happened with the referees. And like I said, I almost have my Buffalo Bills mug out here, but it still hurts to talk about. So still not over it.
I don't watch football at all. I've tried. I can't do it. But I have seen you guys in the chat talking about it in our Discord, and I'm just like, everyone's so mad. Everyone's so emotional. It's so funny.
it's sort of like I have to think about it. The easiest way to refer it's basically just saying that Gambit was kicked off the X-Men for who would be the equivalent of because Xavier was a referee.
Ah,
That's the easiest way
the
to.
villain.
But yeah,
Here's where the Super Bowl ads though
as you should
felt.
be, because I think we're going to see the Fantastic Four trailer again. I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt, just speculating, maybe we'll have a Marvel Studios ad, like they ran, just it was a quick snippet of everything that they have coming out, because obviously Daredevil's out next month.
I think it'll be Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Disney Plus, rather, I should say. But Ironheart, and then maybe we'll see some more about Marvel Zombies. I mean, there's a lot that's going to be coming up there. So super chat, definitely throw your picks in there, what you're most looking forward to see in Disney Plus. I'll be saying that a lot in here because I want to see everybody interact, and this is how we build this up.
I will say people of the Nerd Haven are the best with engagement and interactions. Like,
absolutely.
Some people just kind of lurk, and that's totally fine. I get it. But if you're watching tomorrow, make sure you watch the Puppy Bowl to get a better look at Crypto from Superman.
Yep.
Because that's what I'm looking for. I need more of Crypto. I'll die for that dog.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Like I say, there'll be a lot to watch other than the game. Go Eagles! But but there'll be some fun stuff happening. And then let's say football season will be over. We can all start talking about preseason, and then baseball kicks in, and then obviously wrestling is going on. So if there's any WWE fans, AEW fans, we can always talk that in the chat too. I know Kat's a big wrestling fan, so I know she's got a lot of great takes as well. So except about Kevin Owens, but that's a whole different story. So even though I'm a big KO fan, but it's okay. It's all good. So
yes, the Puppy Bowl happens before the Super Bowl. I don't know the time, so you have to go Google it. I don't want to steer you wrong, which I never would.
Yeah.
Marvel has confirmed they will market 2 movies during the Super Bowl. So I think Thunderbolts and
probably, I would say they'll probably do Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. I mean, they could do Cap, but I think it's already there that week. So I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
And they've been posting clips from the movie like all week too, and it's like, come on, we know enough. It's fine. Just it's fine.
How much would it be wild if it's Robert Downey Jr. just teasing what's coming? Like, welcome to the new phase of Marvel. He just is there with a green cloak. That's it.
See, that's what I think. I think we're going to see a lot of them surrounding the movie Fantastic Four, but I think it'll be a post-credit scene of him just you see like the back of his head putting on the mask. That's it. It's not going to show his face. It's not going to show nothing. I think it's going to be like a Thanos thing, like, guess it's my turn, or guess it's up to me. It's not going to be nothing except that.
Yeah. It is true. Kat, I respect your opinion. I can disagree with it, but I respect it.
I don't understand it, Kat, but I support you, girl.
Yeah.
I don't.
Megan will be watching wrestling by the end of the year. Just it'll happen. Like all.
Dude, I've tried and it's so cringy. That's why I couldn't watch Bellator, because it is so cringy to me. And I'm like, I just miss Dana so much.
Yeah, Bellator is a weird thing these days. Yeah, it's tough because the UFC is just so light years ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll watch ONE FC all day, but it's just like you see just the different levels to this. It is. I would love to see Sam land in full Cap gear in the middle of halftime. Like, I know they'll never do it, but that would be the ultimate product placement. If all of a sudden you see Anthony Mackie just come flying in, like, with like a Cap poster.
Fly in right as Kendrick Lamar is going so hard. And it is him for the...
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that would slap so hard, and I would love it. That would be perfect.
Yeah, that would be insane to see. Like, if he just comes out, because they're doing Not Like Us, and when that moment is quiet, when he throws the mic to the crowd to say the certain line, and you just see all of a sudden Anthony Mackie come flying in with the wings and just crash right down. Boom.
I need to see Anthony Mackie say the line.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I want. Oh, if it doesn't happen now, thanks a lot, Blake.
Yeah.
Thanks. But God, now I got to actually watch it tomorrow. God dang it.
Yes.
I just found out who was playing the Super Bowl yesterday, so I don't know.
No, it's not Buffalo, so don't worry. You're fine. Just there's a lot of controversy going on with that, so definitely can be having that conversation in the Sports Haven chat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opinions. I mean, I've said it on my podcast. I know Matt said it a lot too, on socials as well. Like I'm trying to think who's Mickey from Nerd Initiative, big football fan too. Like you'll see us get very vocal about what transpired, and our opinions on it.
Yeah. So. Let me see. Yes, I just found out. I don't watch football. The only reason I found out was because someone said Taylor Swift was going to be there, and I'm not a Swiftie, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I say, I just yeah, I think Kat has the right idea. If you're gonna watch something else, Hunger Games is always an option. Or even if you want to do a Cap rewatch instead to lead into the movie, that would always be kind of a fun idea.
That's what I'm doing now. We just watched Infinity War today, and then Endgame tomorrow, and then it'll be the series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I will be set.
Yeah, that's going to be, like I said, I really have high expectations what they're going to do for that. So,
yeah, and our Nerd Initiative will be going to watch the movie, so make sure you keep an eye out for that review. I will also be doing a review on my podcast, Vigilante Vibes, which is on YouTube. And if you don't follow it, what's wrong with you? You'd love it.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I follow it.
Yeah, right. I follow your podcast, ODPH.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, because we'll all be talking about it, but that's the great thing about it. We all have got different takes about it, and we're going to really deep dive into what is going on, because we alluded to a little bit last night. We had our State of the Union address on Nerd Initiative YouTube. So we'll see if it kind of pans out, but there's a lot of moving parts happening with this movie, and I'm really excited to see what's going to go down.
It's a lot of moving parts, and I'm very nervous it's going to be more of a Hulk movie than a Captain America movie. And that it's just going to feel so unfair.
You know what? I don't think it is, because I would say in the comparison of like The Flash and how that was basically Batman 89 Part 2.
Which is smart.
I would. That's a whole different right there. I think what they're going to do is, I think adding Red Hulk to it is going to just offer a different dynamic. But if you've ever noticed the comics, the Red Hulk has never been able to sustain his own series, because at the end of the day, it's not as good as Bruce Banner. There's not the compelling character is not there with General Ross.
Yeah,
so I think I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. He's not even the current Red Hulk in the comics. It's Maverick. So it's like, I think Thunderbolt Ross is gonna die.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt they do something kind of like that, but I think that's going to kick off a whole new ball of wax as far as like the espionage street level heroes go.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah, which I'm excited for, because I mean, the Winter Soldier is a great series. If you did not read that story arc in Captain America by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epping, that like they almost followed it panel to panel on the screen, and like it was so well done that's why it translated over as such a big hit when they did it for the big screen. So I think that what we're going to get here, they're going to really be emphasizing about Sam being Cap, and he's a fantastic Captain America in the comics. So I have no doubt they're going to crush it on here.
He is a fantastic Captain America in the comics, including his new run, Captain America Sam Wilson. Like, you want to talk about a strong start. That thing put me on my butt when I first read it.
Yeah. No, they came out and really want to make a statement with it, and I thought they did a great job.
Absolutely. Let's see. Kat says, please let Ross die. He is the easiest to kill off in Brave New World.
Well, it's going to it's going to be tricky, because with the Hulk, it's always tough to unalive a Hulk. So we'll see how they pull it off. But I wouldn't doubt like they're going to have some kind of big impact go down, because I think where it's ultimately leading is right to Thunderbolts, and how they're going to tie that all together with what happens after Thunderbolts. You're going to probably see, maybe this is where we see a Norman Osborn take over as the head of Shield, which will turn into Hammer or something like that. You'll have some fun twists that they're going to do here, but I think that this is going to really showcase what Sam Wilson can do as Captain America. And like I say, absolutely fantastic in the comics. So I can't wait to see what they do on screen.
Plus, this press tour that Anthony Mackie has been on has been so good. Like, he visited the Air Force. I think he's in Atlanta today. He's done so much, and he's kept it so real, saying what Captain America means to him,
Yeah.
talking about his family, and that's what I like. I don't like press tours that are very obviously they get asked the same questions, they give the same answers. Marvel press tours are so different because the actors genuinely look like they care about the role. And I think that's what's going to make the huge difference, that Anthony Mackie is taking this role to heart. And that's what we need. The world needs Captain America right now. And the world needs Anthony Mackie as Captain America.
Yeah, I really think that what they're going to be doing for this movie is really establishing it. His presence as Sam Wilson, because I think if you haven't read the comics, you just seen the Falcon Winter Soldier, like he just got the mantle there. You haven't really seen what he can do. But I love Mackie's takes that he's had for the interviews, and you can truly know that he cares about the character and he understands the responsibility about being Captain America and presenting it as it's the ideals, not the politics. Which, if you really read Captain America, that is what it's all about, is representing that. And if it's, if the character that has that mantle doesn't do that, it always falls flat. Doesn't matter who it is. That's why I say there's been two great ones, I should say, and one really good one. Because Bucky was that was his redemption arc that he was Cap. So
yeah,
it
happens, but like, I wasn't a fan. I like Bucky as Bucky. I like him to do his thing, and he did his thing, and now he can move on and keep doing his thing. Yeah. Coleman Domingo for live action Osborn. I love that.
I will take that. Any Coleman Domingo live action, I will take. Like I say, he is the reason I actually started getting back into Fear of the Walking Dead, because I absolutely loathed the first 2 seasons. But then when they did the anthology style open and they came back during the pandemic time, his character just elevated and just went some places. And it was must watch television, even like with the zombie apocalypse background. Like, it still was like, whoa.
I've never watched the show because I keep losing this battle with myself to finish The Walking Dead. But it's like, I hate Rick so much. I hate him so much. And
yeah,
there's this one season where he just monologues and talks so much throughout the episode. I'm like, just, I don't care if you all die. I'm done here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where they went with the TV show. Super chat, if you're digging The Walking Dead, like, let us know here. I thought what happens is it's a lot of tough times when you make the transition from comic to screen and you have to deal with the pop culture audience. There's certain moments you can do and there's certain moments you can't. And The Walking Dead is a very depressing book, no matter when you read it. And I think for trying to win over the pop culture audience, which I don't think could handle like that mood 24/7, I think that's why they went there with doing a lot of monologues to kind of break it up and like give like Rick's quote unquote undying hope that things will get better, even though like it's never going to. And I think that it turns off because I think when he's really trying to like bring that emotion out, it doesn't connect a lot. But I think it's because fans know like there really is no hope to this. I mean, I think, and then when you get to the comics, like I say, it's a whole different ball of wax. But I think for where they went, there was a lot of stuff they had to really change for TV, because I think the episode that just changed everything, even though we all knew if you read the comics what was going to happen, is when Negan killed Glenn.
Yeah.
Like, that was the biggest 180 as far as a pop culture audience on a show that I think I've ever seen, just because I don't think they were prepared for what happened. And I think that when they started following the comics, like, it was a little too real in certain aspects that it might have turned the fans off. Just my opinion of that.
I remember watching that. Just so you know, I've never watched Fear the Walking Dead. I've watched The Walking Dead, just not the other show. Or I think there's a few shows. I haven't watched any of those. Just the one.
Yeah. Oh, well, I will say this, in my opinion. You can literally jump in late to Fear the Walking Dead when they did the anthology. Like, it was like short episodes after the group got separated. Okay. And I want to say it was like season 4. You
How
can
many
jump in there
seasons?
cold.
How many
They
seasons are
went like
there?
7. They
Oh
they
my
went
gosh.
long.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
gosh.
I admit I jumped ship after episode 2 of season 2. I was like, "I'm out." I was not a fan of what they did. I was like, "I eat the entire family." Like, I don't even care.
Yeah, right.
But then when they added Morgan, it got better, but then when they started pitting him against Strand, that's where things really started elevating. And they did this cool concept for one of them. One of the seasons, like I said, is the anthology season, and I want to say it was 2020, because I caught the virtual panel for New York Comic Con where they were talking about it, and they broke it down where it was like basically one episode per character is like an introduction or where they were at the story, and then they brought it all back together. And I think that's a perfect time to jump in. You don't really need the background. You can pick up enough. You might be confused about like a couple things, but I don't think it takes you out of it. And then I thought they really did strong work, but then they kind of went in a different direction, but you knew they were getting near the end. So it's like when you know like the season or the show's wrapping up, you know it's kind of like, okay, like let's just get this over with. And
So
then
the show's over?
oh yeah, it
Oh.
wrapped up. They did this weird time jump, and when they did that, I was like, oh, I don't think that was a good idea. Even though I understood
Oh.
why for the story, I was just not a fan of it personally. Just my opinion, folks. So, but yeah, but they wrapped up shop, and then they had the Worlds Apart one, which that was a 2-season one, and it was about the kids in the zombie apocalypse, and that was all right. And then they did like another oh god, there was another show, I want to say Tales from the Dead or something like that. It was like short things for that, and then I don't think that clicked either. But they do have 2 other shows out right now, Daryl Dixon, and there's now a spin-off with
Carol?
Maggie. Oh yeah, Daryl Dixon. He's in France.
Well, wasn't it Carol that was supposed to be have a
Carol
spinoff?
just joined. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, so she just joined this past season. And then the name of the second one escapes me, but I know it's Maggie and Negan in New York. I want to say like Mad City, or it's something like that. So please feel free to correct me online here. I just can't remember it to save me right now. But that's like the 2 spinoffs that are still going.
See, with Negan, I loved when he was just the evil guy that killed Glenn. I loved him in that role. And then it seemed like they started making him more of a friendly, more of, like
Yeah.
not as evil. And that's when I like jump ship. I want a bad guy, like a bad to the bone guy.
Mhm.
And they took that. Daryl
Yeah.
Dixon, Dead
Dead City.
City,
Thank you.
and Those Who Live.
Oh,
Dane Blake.
that was the Rick and Michonne 6 episode like Rick's
Oh,
return, which
oh yeah.
yeah.
That was a weird relationship.
Yeah.
She was too good for him.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah,
Stupid
that series, yeah, I agree with Blake. Like they're all solid. Like if you haven't checked them out, I have to play catch up a lot. I didn't like the ending of Rick and Michonne though. But I understood where they were going with it. I just was not a fan because it started out very very dark and like more to the comics, which that's where my fandom is.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but I think for where it went, it was like okay, but it was still solid though.
But didn't they make the show after didn't Rick die in The Walking Dead? Spoiler alert. I don't know.
So what happened is he was allegedly on a bridge when it blew up and they couldn't find him, and then they had
Oh.
this whole other separate group that was like running the country during this time that he wound up getting picked up with, and then they were kind of like brainwashing him to do their work, and then Michonne tracked him down, and it was like years after. So it was a lot more Hollywood than The Walking Dead, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. But I mean,
So
Marvel fans, if there's no body, then they're not dead.
yeah.
So I feel like that should have been a pretty big given.
Yeah, I agree with Blake. Daryl Dixon's the best one out of the 3.
Well, I do like Daryl. I mean, I can't tell you the actor's name, but I do
Norman
like
Reedus?
him.
Yeah, Norman Reedus is
Yeah.
always. I'm still holding out hope he becomes Johnny Blaze in the MCU, but we'll see.
I want what is his name? Charlie Hunnam so bad because he can play gritty so bad and he's so beautiful. And that's
Yeah.
what I want. I want a thirst trap. but it might be too on the nose with Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, that's true. But if they wanted to spin it in, and he becomes Dan Ketch, I'd be okay with that too. Like if they wanted to really take it in a different direction.
He's easily the most popular. Do you think they put more effort into the writing because of it? Speaking of Daryl Dixon.
Yeah, I think so, because if you remember, he was supposed to be a throwaway character in that
Oh.
second season. Like he wasn't supposed to make it as far as he did. So
Mhm.
when he was taken off in popularity, they really wanted to add more to his character. So I think that they really put more of an emphasis to make him the quote unquote Wolverine of the Walking Dead universe. Like he's just the one that comes in and, very gruff around the edges, but has a heart that he's looking for a family. He's looking for purpose. And I think that now they've cast him in that lead role. It's an interesting dynamic to see how it plays out. So, and it's weird because, like Blake alluded to, he was never in the comics, which I always thought that was such a weird moment to see him take off. But that also proves how much the fan opinion matters. That when they're very vocal about a character, you can really sway the writing team to kind of make him into something. And I think for Daryl, it really shows that impact.
That's very true because we all saw Sonic before it became Sonic, the movie, the ugly Sonic. So, yeah, your opinion does matter. And if you speak loud enough, there will be change.
Yes, completely.
Daryl wasn't in the comics?
No.
What? I had no
Yeah,
idea.
there's a lot of parallels or I mean, say differences that they did from the comics to the show. Like it's surprising, at least in my opinion, about like where they went differently. But they both told like their own version at the end, so I'm okay with it.
That makes sense. I mean, I've heard the comics are so much more hardcore than the actual show. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot, that you can't put on TV. And
Yes.
eh, they did a lot of stuff in that show. It's just it's so much blood. Oh, I can't do it.
Yeah, they went to the extremes on a few moments, but I will say this: if you have a weak stomach, you don't want to read the comics. Case in point, the governor storyline, and I will just leave it at that. But if you know the comics, you know exactly what I'm referring to.
Someone spoil it for me in the chat. I want to know.
I'll tell you offline. I don't want to say.
I might just Google it later. Though, why do I do this to myself? That is one of the great things to come out of the interweb era: the ability for fans to get stronger lifetime influence over the things we watch. That's true, and there's something for everyone now and nowadays.
Oh, completely. Like you can literally go check out, and there's so many comics that are going to adapt it to the small screen and big screen, that there's something there for everybody, and to see the translation that goes over. Like you think about a series like The Boys, which really took hold of everybody, and that was such a series that we talk about the definition of superheroes and how much of a 180 that is, but it's one that you're seeing a lot more pop culture audience checking out, and now they're going to read the comics, and it's like, whoa, like to see the influence there, and how that series has gone too.
That's true. That's very true. So, you guys have been watching us for about 48 minutes now, and this has been so much fun. But before we get going, Ken, where can we find you? Where can we find Nerd Initiative? Everyone, get your phones out so you can get ready to go follow people.
All right. Well, very simple. If you want to follow me and my partner in crime, Padawan Jay, and our illustrious crew at the ODPH, it's very simple: odphpodcast.com. And we have episodes dropping weekly. We got reviews. We got a lot of stuff going on there, but the website has all the social media links. And on every social, I think except Facebook, it's at ODPH Podcast. So you definitely interact. Let me know that you're from the Nerd Haven if I haven't already met you, and then we can definitely start chatting it up. And if you want to find out about what we do over at the home of pop culture positivity, it is nerdinitiative.com. Like I say, Nerd Initiative is the place you want to be following on YouTube for exclusive content. We have shows that drop there that you're not going to see anywhere else, but we're on everything from Twitch, Kick, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. The links are all coming from nerdinitiative.com. But if you need help getting there, we do have the link tree in most bios, and that'll take you everywhere you need to go. And we definitely want to be interacting with everybody, as we are now a really a factor here with the Nerd Haven. We are super excited to get started.
Exactly. And you will see Ken all over the Nerd Haven. You see his post, you see ODPH's post, and you will see these lives every month. And you can make sure you're in the Nerd Haven on Facebook. It's the Nerd Haven, the non-toxic nerd culture group, where every month I will make a post about how you can also be a winner like Madison and like Daniel. So make sure you're following there, make sure you're in the group, and you can follow me everywhere at Vigilante Vibes Podcast, and you will see me in the group as Megan Nicole.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you guys for all coming in here. Again, Madison and Daniel, send me a message. I will comment to you today just in case. And thank you guys for being here. This was a lot of fun. I'm excited to do it again next month. Thank you, Ken, for joining us.
Thank
And
you for having me on, Megan. No, I appreciate it.
And thank you, Nerd Initiative, for joining our group and joining our community and adding to it.
Yes, absolutely. We can't wait to get started and interact and make this into really the home for fans for pop culture positivity.
Yes. And with that, you guys have a great night. Good luck at the Super Bowl. And whoever is watching the UFC, Sean Strickland, I'm hoping you lose tonight. So
This is for the win.
all right, guys, you guys have a great night.